Poppin' B, Purpok here, and welcome back to another episode of Race the Ramen, the show where I attempt to review something unscripted in the amount of time it takes to boil an instant ramen. And today we'll be taking a look at the Garfield Movie, available now on demand. Alright, we're going to start the timer right now. Okay, so the Garfield Movie, which is in itself kind of a weird name because this isn't even the first Garfield movie, but whatever. This is the recently released animated film based on Garfield, the fat orange cat comic strip character who I'm sure if you've clicked on this video, you're at least somewhat familiar with him. It's only been around since like the 70s and is so ubiquitous in pop culture and merchandise that you can't go anywhere without seeing Garfield, whether it's an antique store or a French beach. The earth will supply you with Garfield, so odds are you know who the Flabby Tabby is. And while I'm definitely not as big of a fan as I used to be, as a young man, like a kid mostly, I loved Garfield, and I still got a soft spot for him. I don't read the comics as much, and I haven't really been, consistently checking out Garfield media for a number of years. I never really watched, the 2010s Garfield show that much. I watched a lot of Garfield and Friends growing up from, Netflix DVDs. I read a lot of books. Fat Cat 3-packs fill many shelves. I still have some of those. I want that all on the table here so that I can make it clear that I like Garfield, but I don't see it as this sacred institution. I want all that out up front so that I can make it clear that I don't think this new Garfield movie is very good. I don't think it's awful. I don't even think it's really that bad, but it's not very good. And I don't know if people are really that surprised by it. I mean, the general reaction to this project was a shrug for a lot of people, which then only turned to disappointment and animosity when they learned that Chris Pratt would be voicing Garfield. Let me just get that out of the way real quick. I think that Chris Pratt is a decent actor. I would even go so far as to say he's a skilled voice actor. The problem is he doesn't have range. He just doesn't. And whatever the reason they want Chris Pratt to be in every Hollywood movie ever right now, he's not nearly as marketable as I think they think he is. Cause I don't know, man. He's just a fucking guy. There are so many actors that could have played Garfield, many others who should have played Garfield. I don't even think most people who have voiced Garfield have done a good job. I'm one of those people that thinks Lorenzo Music from Garfield and Friends is the only true Garfield voice. So my bar is relatively low, and while I don't think Chris Pratt's performance was bad as a performance, it's a bad Garfield. He's not Garfield. He doesn't sound like Garfield, he doesn't act like Garfield, he does not have the tone or, again, the range to play this cat. I guess that's my biggest problem, is that it doesn't really feel like a Garfield movie. I mean, Garfield's there, John is there, Odie's there, there's lasagna and whatnot. But, it just feels all over the place in general. It starts with, vertical footage on a cell phone of Garfield ordering food from DoorDash. And then, making sure that he, takes all of the vegetables off his food. I'm just this feels weird. It just back and forth tone. And just the way everything feels is always changing. It's weird. I thought this movie was surprisingly funny. And there's a lot of energy and some chaotic creativity to a lot of the animation and character designs. I thought the villain was pretty fun. Not deep or anything, but a classic, enjoyable, hand-wringing, mustache-twirling, sinister villain. She was fun. And aside from some really genuinely egregious product placement that I think has no purpose being in a children's movie, it was Walmart fills the screen, Olive Garden bag fills the screen. There's literally a line of dialogue where someone's talking to John you should get on the dating apps. There's Bumble, there's Tinder, and you really should be paying those premium prices for a membership. I swear, I'm only slightly paraphrasing. That happens in the first 5 minutes. It's so weird because like all of these like corporate things jammed together, like it's really obvious. I mean, Chris Pratt being Garfield is like the first tick. Like this is just some more like corporate version of a Garfield product, as if that sort of thing didn't exist already. But I don't know. It's hard for me to call it like a worthless or unenjoyable movie. I laughed. There's some sweet moments and decent morals in its story, but it's just a mess and all over the place and not very Garfield. Hopefully, it gives you a decent impression of what I think of the movie. I feel like I could have gone on about a lot of little things in this movie. Like the weird way that they depict Odie, like how he's suddenly like smarter than Garfield a lot of the time, which I don't think I should have to tell Garfield fans that's weird because Odie's dumb. John is good in this movie, but he's barely in this movie. And then, like, the whole... I didn't even touch on it because everyone else has, but why is the Garfield movie about an estranged father-son plotline? It's not even, like, a horrible one. It's just, we've all seen this before. It's cliched. And the comic strip and TV show had a similar story that was more interesting, so why not just go with that? The whole thing's just weird. Like, I can tell that there were some genuine Garfield fans working on this project, some talented animators. It's not even like it's got bad voice acting or bad animation or anything. There are more harmful, less entertaining, meaner spirited movies you could take your family and your kids to see. And if they're a young Garfield fan, they might appreciate it. Older fans, probably not. And there's a lot of better things you could show your kids in general. So, I don't know. If you're interested, check it out. But don't feel obligated. I'm pretty sure it's out of theaters now, but if you saw it in theaters and enjoyed it, good for you. I didn't have a horrible time or anything, but I can't really give it a strong recommendation. Even as someone who is willing to look at Garfield and see it more as just a meme, like a lot of people do, as just haha, funny cat, hate Monday, love lasagna. When Garfield's handled well, it can be better than that, it can be more interesting than that. This was not that. And while not worthless, it's not great. I give the Garfield movie a 4 out of 10. Again, really not awful, not very good. It goes back and forth the whole time. It feels weirdly long and like directionless. And it just kind of like comes up with vignettes until the story has fulfilled its like objective and then it's done. And again, mostly, it doesn't feel like a super Garfield-y Garfield movie, which is a problem like nearly every Garfield movie has had, and I really want to know why it continues to be a problem. He's not a complicated character. And if Paws Inc. maybe cared a little bit more, maybe they'd let some people with interesting ideas take on a Garfield story. But I guess they're too busy putting him in some third Garfield kart game or whatever. Anyway, I don't want to sound too bitter, but can't recommend the Garfield movie. The funniest thing is to me too, I would be a little bit more upset at this movie, but it's not egregious, it's just kind of bad. And again, more to the point, most of the Garfield movies aren't even that good anyway, so I'm not really sure what I was expecting. The best one is like Garfield Gets Real, and that's still a fever dream.